The first classroom. Before the grand cathedrals rose, before the philosophical academies convened, before the intricate tapestry of societal structures was woven, there existed a singular sacred space. The family. It is the original tabernacle, the first sanctuary where the divine drama of love unfolds in the mundane. Within its walls, the human heart. Consider the commandment, honor your father and mother. It is not a quaint relic of a bygone era, a mere social convention. Rather, it is a profound ontological truth, a divine blueprint etched into the very fabric of creation. This command is not about subservience, but about acknowledging the sacred chain of being, the lineage that connects us to the very source of life. It is a recognition that we are not isolated islands, but threads in a divine tapestry, woven together by love and grace. In an age where the bonds of kinship are often frayed, where relationships are treated as disposable commodities, and where the self is exalted as the ultimate arbiter of truth, the wisdom of this commandment resonates with a prophetic urgency. We are invited to rediscover the family as a mirror reflecting the Trinity, a communion of persons bound by love, a sacred dance of giving and receiving. To honor our parents is to acknowledge that we are recipients of a gift we did not earn, a love we did not initiate. It is to recognize that our existence is a testament to the divine generosity that flows through generations. This act of honoring is not merely about respecting authority. It is about embracing humility, about acknowledging our dependence on the love that precedes us. Think of the child learning to walk, guided by the steady hands of a parent. This is not just a physical act. It is a metaphor for the spiritual journey. We are all children, learning to walk in the light of divine love, guided by those who have walked before us. To disregard this guidance is to sever ourselves from the very roots that sustain us, to reject the very foundation upon which our humanity is built. The wounds we carry, the scars etched by broken relationships, these too find their first healing within the embrace of family. It is here in this crucible of love that we learn to forgive, to reconcile, to extend grace, practices that mirror the very heart of God. The family is not a utopian ideal, but a messy, imperfect reality where grace and sin collide, where forgiveness and redemption are forged in the fires of everyday life. In honoring our parents, we are not just honoring flesh and blood, we are honoring the divine image reflected in them. We are acknowledging that they are vessels of grace, channels through which God's love flows into the world. This act of reverence is a profound act of worship, a recognition of the sacred within the ordinary. The family, then, is not merely a social construct. It is a theological imperative. It is the first school of love, the primal sanctuary where we learn to love and be loved. It is the sacred space where the imago Dei, the image of God, is first revealed, where we first encounter the mystery of divine love made manifest in human form. In a world that often seeks to dismantle the sacred, to reduce human relationships to mere transactions, the commandment to honor our parents stands as a beacon of enduring truth. It calls us back to the foundational reality of love, to the divine blueprint for human flourishing, to the sacred space where we first encounter the face of God. The commandment in context. Imagine the scene. Mount Sinai, the earth trembling, the voice of God echoing across the wilderness. Amidst the thunder and the smoke, a covenant is forged, a sacred contract between God and humanity. But this is not a contract of mere legalistic obligations. It is a covenant woven into the very fabric of human existence, a blueprint for a life lived in communion with the divine. And at the heart of this covenant, nestled amongst laws governing sacrifice and justice, we find a profound and unexpected emphasis. Honor your father and mother. This is not a mere social etiquette, a polite nod to parental authority. It is a cornerstone of the covenant, a reflection of God's own heart. Unlike the legal codes of other ancient civilizations, obsessed with property rights and the accumulation of wealth, Israel's lawgiver, with a wisdom that transcends time, places the emphasis on generational stewardship. Tell your children, Moses commands, when you sit in your house, and when you walk by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise up. Deuteronomy 6:7. This is not simply about imparting information, but about weaving faith, identity, and the legacy of justice into the very tapestry of a child's being. It is about creating a living legacy, a chain of memory that connects the present to the past and ultimately to the divine source of all life. To honor one's parents is to acknowledge the sacred chain of being, the unbroken line of love and grace that extends from the very beginning of creation. It is to recognize that we are not self-made beings, but inheritors of a rich and complex history, a legacy of both triumphs and struggles, of faith and doubt. This commandment, therefore, is not merely about obeying parental commands, but about recognizing the profound gift of human existence, a gift passed down through generations, a gift that carries with it the weight of history, the echoes of ancestral voices, and the enduring promise of hope. A sacred exchange. The covenant, as revealed in the sacred scriptures, is not a one-way street, a unilateral demand for obedience. It is rather a sacred exchange, a dance of love and respect that flows in both directions, a reciprocal rhythm that sustains the very heartbeat of society. The command to honor is not a burden placed solely upon the shoulders of the young, but a shared responsibility, a mutual commitment to the flourishing of the human family. Listen to the wisdom of Proverbs. Listen to your father who gave you life, and do not despise your mother when she is old. Let your father and mother have joy. Let her who gave you birth rejoice. Proverbs 23, 22, and 25. Here, the voice of wisdom echoes across the ages, reminding us that the bond between parent and child is a sacred trust, a relationship that demands both giving and receiving. And consider the instruction to parents. Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he will not depart from it. Proverbs 22:6. This is not a call to rigid control, but a plea for patient guidance, a recognition that parents are entrusted with the sacred task of shaping the hearts and minds of their children, of instilling in them the values that will guide them through life's journey. The ancient laws of Leviticus further illuminate this sacred exchange. You shall rise before the aged, and show respect for the old, and fear your God. I am the Lord. Leviticus 19:32. This act of reverence is not merely a social custom, it is a profound recognition of the dignity of human life, a testament to the wisdom and experience that comes with age. In this reciprocal dance of care, we see a reflection of the very nature of God, a glimpse into the mystery of the Trinity. The early church, in its profound wisdom, recognized in this mutual love, this unending giving and receiving, a reflection of the divine communion, the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit, bound together in an eternal exchange of love, a perfect unity in perfect diversity. This sacred exchange, this covenant of care, is the foundation upon which society is built. It is the glue that binds generations together, the thread that weaves together the tapestry of human existence. When this covenant is honored, when respect and love flow freely between parent and child, between young and old, society flourishes, and the divine image within each person shines brightly. But when this covenant is broken, when the bonds of kinship are severed, when the elderly are abandoned and the young are neglected, society crumbles, and the light of God's love dims. The wounds of broken relationships, the scars of neglect and abandonment, these cast long shadows across the landscape of human experience. Therefore, let us embrace this sacred exchange, this covenant of care, with renewed commitment. Let us honor our parents, not as a mere obligation, but as an act of love, a recognition of the gift of life they have given us. And let us, as parents, strive to be worthy of the trust placed in us, guiding our children with patience and love, instilling in them the values that will lead them to lives of purpose and meaning. For in this sacred exchange, in this dance of love and respect, we find not only the key to human flourishing, but also a glimpse into the very heart of God, the source of all love, the giver of all good gifts. Augustine of the domestic monastery, in the twilight of the Roman Empire, amidst the crumbling vestiges of a once great civilization, a voice arose, a voice that would echo through the ages, illuminating the profound connection between the human family and the divine order. Augustine, the Bishop of Hippo, a man who wrestled with his own human frailties, saw in the family a sacred microcosm, a reflection of the very structure of God's universe. He called it the first natural society, a primal community where the seeds of virtue are sown, where the human heart first learns to love and be loved. Augustine, with his penetrating intellect, understood that the family is not merely a social construct, but a divinely ordained institution, a sacred space where the drama of salvation unfolds. In his treatise, The Good of Marriage, Augustine articulates a profound truth. Parents are to their children what God is to humanity. This is not a statement of tyrannical authority, but a recognition of the sacred responsibility entrusted to those who bring life into the world. Parents, he argues, are shepherds of souls, entrusted with the task of guiding their children along the path of righteousness, of nurturing their spiritual growth, of leading them towards the light of divine truth. Imagine the weight of this responsibility, the profound implications of this divine analogy. Parents are not merely providers of material needs, but guardians of the soul, entrusted with the task of shaping the hearts and minds of their children, of instilling in them the virtues that will guide them through life's journey. To dishonor one's parents, therefore, is not merely a social transgression, but a spiritual act of rebellion, a tearing of the divine tapestry, a disruption of the sacred order. It is a rejection of the very source of one's being, a denial of the love that sustains life itself. Augustine's vision of the family is not a romanticized ideal, a utopian fantasy. He understood the complexities of human relationships, the inevitable conflicts and struggles that arise within the domestic sphere. But he also recognized the transformative power of grace, the capacity for love and forgiveness to heal even the deepest wounds. He saw the family as a domestic monastery, a sacred space where the virtues of patience, humility, and self-sacrifice are cultivated, where the lessons of the gospel are lived out in the everyday interactions of family life. It is within the family, he argued, that we first learn to love our neighbors, to forgive our enemies, to bear one another's burdens. This vision of the family as a domestic monastery resonates with a profound spiritual truth. The sacred is not confined to the walls of churches or temples, but permeates every aspect of human life, including the intimate relationships of family. The family, therefore, is not merely a social unit, but a sacred space, a place where we encounter the living God. Augustine's insights, though rooted in the context of his own time, remain profoundly relevant today. In a world where the bonds of kinship are often frayed, where relationships are treated as disposable commodities, his vision of the family as a sacred microcosm offers a powerful antidote to the prevailing culture of individualism and isolation. Let us therefore embrace Augustine's wisdom and strive to create within our own families a domestic monastery, a sacred space where love, forgiveness, and grace abound, a place where the divine image within each person shines brightly, reflecting the glory of God. Chrysostom, parenting as priesthood. In the vibrant, bustling metropolis of Constantinople, a golden-tongued preacher arose, a man whose words resonated with the power of divine truth. John Chrysostom, the Archbishop of Constantinople, saw in the family not merely a social unit, but a sacred arena, a training ground for holiness, a little church where the drama of salvation unfolded in the everyday interactions of human life. Chrysostom, with his profound understanding of the human heart, urged parents to become artists of souls, to see their children not as mere possessions, but as precious works of art, sculpted by the divine hand, entrusted to their care. This is not a call to perfection, but a recognition of the sacred responsibility to shape their children's character, to guide them along the path of virtue, to instill in them the love of God and neighbor. Imagine the transformative power of this vision. Parents as artists, crafting not with paint or stone, but with love, patience, and wisdom, molding the very essence of their children's being. This is a priesthood, a sacred calling, demanding not only dedication, but a profound understanding of the human soul. And to children, Chrysostom offered a powerful exhortation. Revere those who gave you life. This is not a call to blind obedience, but a recognition of the profound debt of gratitude owed to those who brought them into the world, who nurtured them with love, who sacrificed their own needs for the sake of their children's well-being. For Chrysostom, the home was a little church, a sanctuary where the virtues of the gospel were lived out in the daily rhythm of family life. It was a place where forgiveness was practiced, where the wounds of conflict were healed, where the love of Christ was made tangible in the everyday acts of kindness and compassion. Think of the family meal, the shared laughter, the whispered prayers before sleep. These seemingly mundane moments, Chrysostom understood, were sacred opportunities to cultivate love, to nurture faith, to build a community of grace. The home, therefore, was not merely a dwelling place, but a spiritual haven, a place where the divine presence was palpable. Chrysostom's vision of parenting as a priesthood resonates with a profound spiritual truth. The sacred is not confined to the walls of churches or temples, but permeates every aspect of human life, including the intimate relationships of family. Parents, therefore, are not merely raising children. They are shaping souls, cultivating virtue, and building the kingdom of God within the walls of their own homes. In a world that often glorifies individualism and self-sufficiency, Chrysostom's vision of the family as a little church offers a powerful antidote to the prevailing culture of isolation and fragmentation. It reminds us that we are created for community, that we are called to love and be loved, that we find our true identity in the context of relationships. Let us, therefore, embrace Chrysostom's wisdom and strive to create within our own homes a little church, a sacred space where forgiveness is practiced, where love is made tangible, where the divine presence is felt in the everyday moments of family life. Let us become artists of souls, shaping the hearts and minds of our children with love and wisdom, guiding them along the path of righteousness, and building the kingdom of God within our own homes. Aquinas, natural law, and filial piety. In the heart of the medieval world, a brilliant mind emerged, a Dominican friar named Thomas Aquinas, whose profound theological and philosophical insights continue to shape our understanding of faith and reason. Aquinas, with his keen intellect, sought to reconcile the wisdom of ancient philosophy with the revelation of Christian faith, weaving a tapestry of thought that remains as relevant today as it was in his own time. Consider Aquinas' reflections on the commandment to honor one's parents. He did not view this as a mere social convention, but as a fundamental principle rooted in the very fabric of reality. Drawing upon the wisdom of Aristotle, Aquinas saw in the natural order a reflection of the divine mind, a harmonious system governed by eternal laws. He argued that honoring one's parents is not merely a moral obligation, but an act of participation in this cosmic order. Parents, he reasoned, are our first cause, next to God, the source of our very existence. To honor them, therefore, is to acknowledge this fundamental truth, to recognize our place within the grand design of creation. Aquinas' perspective, however, goes beyond mere philosophical reasoning. He saw in the commandment to honor one's parents a reflection of divine grace, a supernatural elevation of a natural duty. While honoring one's parents is rooted in reason and the natural order, it is transformed and perfected by the infusion of divine grace. Imagine the profound shift in perspective, the transition from obligation to gratitude, from duty to love. Honoring one's parents, when infused with grace, becomes not merely a matter of fulfilling a social contract, but an expression of love, a recognition of the divine love that flows through the generations. Aquinas' insights, therefore, offer a profound challenge to our modern understanding of family relationships. In a world that often prioritizes individual autonomy and self-fulfillment, his vision of the family as a reflection of the divine order, a community bound together by love and gratitude, offers a powerful counter-narrative. Let us, therefore, embrace Aquinas' wisdom and strive to honor our parents, not merely out of a sense of duty, but out of a deep appreciation for the gift of life, a recognition of the divine love that flows through the generations, and a desire to participate in the harmonious order of creation, the Holy Family, a divine model. In the quiet village of Nazareth, a family lived, their lives woven into the tapestry of everyday existence. A young woman named Mary, betrothed to Joseph, carried within her womb the divine mystery, the Word made flesh. This was the Holy Family, a model of love, obedience, and faith that would forever transform our understanding of the family. Consider the obedience of Jesus, the eternal Son, to his earthly parents. He went down with them and came to Nazareth and was obedient to them. Luke 2:51. This act of filial obedience, seemingly simple, is profound in its implications. The creator of the universe, the source of all authority, submits to the authority of his human parents, demonstrating the sacredness of the family bond. And what of Mary, the Mother of God? Mary kept all these things, pondering them in her heart. Luke 2:19. In her quiet contemplation, her deep reverence for the divine mystery, we see a model of faith, a testament to the power of reflection and inner dialogue. Mary, the young woman chosen to bear the Son of God, embodies the virtues of humility, obedience, and unwavering faith. In the Holy Family, we see God's radical choice to enter into human history, to become one of us, to experience the joys and sorrows, the triumphs and struggles of human existence. God, in His infinite love, chooses to need a family, to be dependent on human care, to sanctify the very fabric of human relationships. The Holy Family, therefore, is not merely a historical event, but a profound theological truth. It is a revelation of the divine love that permeates every aspect of human existence, a testament to the sacredness of the family bond. In the humble home of Nazareth, we see a reflection of the divine Trinity, a communion of persons bound together by love and mutual respect. The Holy Family, therefore, is not only a model for human families, but a source of inspiration and hope, a reminder that even in the midst of life's challenges, God is with us. Emmanuel, God with us. Let us therefore look to the Holy Family as a beacon of light, a source of guidance and inspiration. Let us strive to emulate their love, their obedience, their unwavering faith. Let us create within our own families a space where the divine presence is felt, where love and respect flourish, and where the echoes of God's love resonate through the generations. For in the Holy Family we see the divine blueprint for human flourishing, a vision of the family as a sacred space, a place where the divine mystery is made manifest in the everyday interactions of human life. The crisis of isolation. In the tapestry of human history, the family has always been the thread that weaves together the generations, the cornerstone upon which society is built. Yet, in the modern age, this sacred bond is under threat, frayed by the forces of individualism, consumerism, and technological isolation. The multi-generational homes of the past, where grandparents, parents, and children lived in close proximity, have been replaced by sprawling suburbs and isolated nuclear family. The once vibrant rhythms of community life, where neighbors knew each other's names and children played freely in the streets, have been replaced by the sterile glow of the digital screen. Teenagers, their faces illuminated by the cold light of smartphones, scroll through endless feeds of curated perfection, their attention spans shrinking, their capacity for empathy dwindling. The elderly, once revered as repositories of wisdom and experience, are often relegated to the margins of society, their voices silenced, their stories forgotten. This pervasive sense of isolation, this fragmentation of the human community, has been aptly described by Pope Francis as the globalization of indifference. In a world saturated with information, we are increasingly disconnected from one another, our hearts hardened by the relentless pursuit of individual gain. The commandment to honor one's parents, once a cornerstone of social order, now seems like a relic of a bygone era. In a culture that prioritizes youth and beauty, the elderly are often seen as a burden, their presence a reminder of our own mortality. In a world obsessed with individual achievement, the bonds of kinship are often sacrificed on the altar of ambition. Yet, amidst this crisis of isolation, the call to honor our parents remains a beacon of hope, a reminder of the enduring power of human connection. It is a call to resist the forces of individualism, to break down the walls of isolation, and to rediscover the sacredness of the family bond. Honoring our parents is not about blind obedience or approval of perfection. It is about recognizing the profound gift of life, the sacrifices made on our behalf, the wisdom and experience that have been passed down through generations. It is about reaching out across the divides, bridging the gaps, and healing the wounds of broken relationships. It is about creating spaces where the voices of the elderly are heard, their stories cherished, their wisdom valued. It is about cultivating empathy and compassion, about seeing the face of God in every person we encounter. In the face of a world that often seems to be falling apart, the commandment to honor our parents offers a path to healing, a way to rebuild the broken web of human connection and to rediscover the sacredness of the family bond. It is a call to action, a challenge to each of us to be a force for good, to build bridges of understanding, and to create a world where love, respect, and compassion prevail. Let us therefore embrace this sacred responsibility, this call to honor our parents, not as a burden, but as an opportunity to heal the wounds of the world, to restore the dignity of the human person, and to build a future where the bonds of kinship are once again strong and vibrant. Stories of reconciliation. In the tapestry of human relationships, there are threads that become frayed, bonds that are broken, and wounds that fester. Yet even in the darkest of times, the possibility of healing remains, the promise of redemption ever present. The commandment to honor our parents, far from being a relic of a bygone era, offers a beacon of hope, a path toward reconciliation, and a testament to the enduring power of love. Consider the parable of the prodigal son, a tale that speaks to the depths of human brokenness and the boundless capacity for forgiveness. The father, his heart aching with longing, waits patiently for his wayward son's return. When the prodigal son, humbled and ashamed, finally returns home, the father, moved by compassion, embraces him, showering him with love and acceptance. In this parable, we see a powerful reflection of the divine nature, a reminder that God's love is not contingent upon our worthiness, but flows freely, unconditionally, toward all who seek forgiveness. This is the essence of honor, not a demand for perfection, but a commitment to love, to forgive, to bear all things, to hope against hope. This is the hard work of reconciliation, the slow, painstaking process of healing broken relationships, of rebuilding bridges that have been destroyed. It demands humility, patience, and a willingness to extend grace, even when it seems impossible. Think of the daughter who, after years of estrangement, reaches out to her father, offering an olive branch, a chance to heal the wounds of the past. Or the foster parents who open their hearts and homes to a child in need, offering love and stability in the midst of chaos. Or the son who, with unwavering devotion, cares for his aging mother, battling Alzheimer's, preserving her dignity and honoring the woman who gave him life. These are the stories that inspire us, the stories that remind us of the enduring power of love, the capacity for human beings to overcome even the deepest wounds, to find redemption in the midst of brokenness. The commandment to honor our parents, therefore, is not a mere social obligation, but a call to embrace the transformative power of love, to be agents of healing and reconciliation, to build a world where the bonds of kinship are strengthened and the wounds of the past are finally healed. Let us therefore strive to be instruments of grace, to extend forgiveness, to offer hope, and to build a future where the love that binds families together is stronger than any force of division. For in the act of reconciliation, we not only heal the wounds of the past, but we also participate in the divine work of redemption, bringing the light of love into a world that desperately needs it. Practical wholeness. The call to honor our parents, to rebuild the domestic church, is not an abstract ideal, a lofty theological concept. It is a call to practical holiness, a call to live out our faith in the everyday moments of family life. It is a call to transform our homes into sanctuaries of love, compassion, and grace, where the light of Christ shines brightly. This journey begins with small acts, seemingly insignificant gestures that, when woven together, create a tapestry of love and respect. It begins with listening before judging, with seeking to understand before rushing to condemn. It begins with preserving memory, with cherishing the stories and traditions that connect us to our past, that remind us of who we are and where we come from. It is about forgiving old wounds, about laying down the burdens of resentment and bitterness, about choosing to extend grace, even when it seems undeserved. It is about recognizing that we are all flawed, imperfect beings, in need of forgiveness and redemption. As Dorothy Day, the great champion of the poor and marginalized, so eloquently stated, "The family is the cell that regenerates society. The family is the fundamental building block of human community, the crucible where character is formed, where values are instilled, where the seeds of love and compassion are sown." Imagine the transformative power of a family that lives out these principles. A family where listening and understanding prevail over judgment and condemnation. A family where memory is cherished and traditions are honored. A family where forgiveness is freely given and old wounds are healed. Such a family becomes a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, a testament to the enduring power of love. It becomes a domestic church, a sacred space where the divine presence is felt, where the virtues of the gospel are lived out in the everyday interactions of human life. This is not a utopian fantasy, a romanticized ideal. It is a call to action, a challenge to each of us to transform our own homes into sanctuaries of love, compassion, and grace. It is a call to embrace the hard work of reconciliation, to build bridges of understanding, to heal the wounds of the past. It is about volunteering together as a family, serving the poor and marginalized, extending a helping hand to those in need. It is about planting a garden, nurturing the earth, teaching our children the value of hard work and the beauty of creation. It is about teaching our children the prayers of our ancestors, passing down the legacy of faith, connecting them to the rich tapestry of our spiritual heritage. It is about creating a space where the elderly are honored, their voices heard, their wisdom valued. It is about building a community of intergenerational support, where the young and the old learn from each other, where the bonds of kinship are strengthened. This is the path to practical holiness, the way to rebuild the domestic church, to regenerate society. It is a path that demands humility, patience, and a willingness to embrace the transformative power of love. It is a path that leads to healing, reconciliation, and the restoration of the human family. The ripple effect, the truth etched into the very fabric of human existence, resonates through the ages. Strong families birth strong societies. The health of a nation, the vitality of a community, the very soul of civilization is inextricably linked to the strength of the family unit. Consider the simple yet profound act of sharing a meal. Around the table, stories are shared, lessons are learned, bonds are forged. This is where we learn to listen, to empathize, to understand the perspectives of others. This is where we learn to be a part of something larger than ourselves. When families are strong, when love and respect flow freely within their walls, the ripple effect extends outward, transforming communities, shaping nations, and illuminating the world. The values instilled within the home, honesty, integrity, compassion, become the bedrock upon which a just and equitable society is built. The medieval adage, "A family that prays together stays together," speaks to a profound spiritual truth. When families unite in prayer, when they seek the divine presence together, they become a fortress of strength, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness, and a nation comprised of such families. A nation where the virtues of love, compassion, and forgiveness are cultivated within the home becomes a light to the world, a testament to the transformative power of faith and family. Think of the community that rallies together after a devastating natural disaster. It is the strength of families, the bonds of kinship, that provide the resilience needed to rebuild, to restore, to rise from the ashes. It is the love and support shared within families that fuel the collective effort to heal and rebuild. Or consider the impact of a mentor, an elder who invests their time and wisdom in guiding a young person. This act of intergenerational connection, this passing down of knowledge and experience, strengthens not only the individual, but the entire community. The family, therefore, is not merely a private affair, a matter of personal concern. It is a public good, a vital component of a healthy and thriving society. When families flourish, communities flourish, nations flourish, and the world becomes a brighter, more hopeful place. Let us, therefore, embrace the sacred responsibility to strengthen our families, to cultivate love, compassion, and forgiveness within our homes. Let us strive to create families that pray together, that stay together, and that become a light to the world. For in the strength of our families, we find the strength of our communities, the hope of our nations, and the promise of a brighter future for all. Eternal threads. To honor our parents, in its deepest sense, is to acknowledge our place within a grand narrative, a story that transcends the boundaries of our individual lives. We are not isolated actors on a stage, but threads in a divine tapestry, intricately woven together by the hands of the Creator. This tapestry stretches across time, connecting us to the past, anchoring us in the present, and extending into the future. It is a tapestry woven with the threads of love, sacrifice, and grace, a testament to the enduring power of human connection. In the act of honoring our parents, we acknowledge the sacred chain of being, the lineage that connects us to the very source of life. We recognize that we are not self-made beings, but inheritors of a rich and complex history, a legacy of both triumphs and struggles, of faith and doubt. As we honor Father and Mother, we honor the God who authored life itself, the divine artist who crafted this magnificent tapestry of human existence. In doing so, we become more fully human, more deeply connected to our own humanity and to the humanity of others. The family, in all its diverse forms, is not a problem to be solved, a social construct to be analyzed and dissected. It is a mystery to be cherished, a sacred space where the divine drama of love unfolds in the everyday moments of human life. It is within the family, in the crucible of love and sacrifice, that we glimpse the heart of the Father, the divine parent who sets the lonely in families, Psalm 68, verse 6. It is here that we learn to love and be loved, to forgive and be forgiven, to bear one another's burdens and to rejoice in one another's triumph. The family, therefore, is not a relic of a bygone era, but a living testament to the enduring power of love, a beacon of hope in a world often shrouded in darkness. It is a reminder that we are not alone, that we are connected to one another by bonds of kinship that transcend time and space. Let us therefore embrace the sacred mystery of the family, cherish the bonds that connect us, and strive to create within our own families a space where love, compassion, and grace abound. For in the family, we find not only the source of our humanity, but also a glimpse into the very heart of God, the source of all love, the weaver of the eternal tapestry of life. Call to action. Thank you for accompanying us on this profound exploration of the sacred bond between parent and child and the divine blueprint for human flourishing. If this journey into the depths of filial piety and the call to honor has touched your heart, we invite you to join the Hope in God community. Subscribe for more theological reflections that illuminate the enduring wisdom of our faith. Share your own experiences of encountering grace within your family relationships, and let us continue together, finding hope and healing in every step of our shared pilgrimage towards a deeper understanding of God's love, manifested in the very structure of our families. Let us together rebuild the domestic church and become a light to the world, reflecting the love of the Father who sets the lonely in families.